Hi everyone, I am going to show you how I do my nails. I'm not a nail professional, I'm not licensed. This is just what I do from having my nails done forever and ever and watching and so forth. So I do them myself. I'm not a licensed nail artist, but I thought it would be fun to show you how I do my nails. So stay tuned. Today I thought I'd show you how I do my nails. I don't go get them professionally done anymore. I had a reaction to the acrylic, so I don't do that anymore. I do my own and I use gel, which is, I think, better than acrylic. It probably doesn't last as long as the acrylic, but I do gel. I use the IBD gel, and I'm almost out of this one. I probably got just this one to do, and then I'll have to get some more of that. I can still find it online. Sally's used to carry it. I don't think they carry that much of it anymore. But I thought I'd show you my setup. I've got my light. I've got a buffer, a nail file, and a medium buffer. This is kind of a light one. I've got, let's see, my clips to trim the nails down. This goes over here. I got my brush, and this is an IBD brush, nail gel brush, and I reuse it. If you clean it really well, you can reuse these for a little while. My cotton rounds, I can't find like the sponge like ones to clean the residue off, so I just use these, and it does leave some cotton behind sometimes, but that's okay. I just keep wiping it off. I use a primer. This is a it's for sensitive, sorry about that. Sherbond, Bare Secrets. It's a non-acid nail primer. This doesn't bother me as much as the ones you'd use for acrylic. My super glue. It's actually nail glue. I actually found this at Family Dollar, and it works better than my high professional nail glue. This works awesome. So I use that. And this is a sealer. So after you're all done, this makes the shiny coat on your nail. So it's like a nice glass finish on it, so it's nice and shiny. And this is a bonder. So after I prime my nails with that, I wait a little bit, and then I use this stuff on it. And then you're going to need some alcohol, and if you're going to paint, you're going to need fingernail polish remover, some cotton balls. The nails that, well, this is my little sponge with the bonder. This stuff, it leaves a real sticky residue, so I tap my nails after I put this on, so it's not so bad. But that's what I do. Excuse me. And these are the nails I'm going to use this time. These are the duck nail. I call them the duck nails. They are wide at the tip, which I like, and I like the white tips. Sometimes I'll use the clear and paint them or whatnot, just for a natural look. But I like my duck ones. They're, I don't know, I just like the wide and really long nails, but I can't do anything when they're really long. So I've kind of trim them down. I might leave these ones long for a little bit for the 4th of July, and then I'll trim them down. But I got these, so pick out, you know, the nails that you would like to use, but these are mine. I'm actually running out of this one. The ones I'm running out of are the ones that usually end up popping off because I'm rough on my nails. These will last me, doing them myself, they will last me, if I don't put my hands in water or not doing gardening and that kind of stuff, they'll probably last me almost a month. And I'll have to fill them in. Maybe I'll fill them in. But if I'm doing a lot of stuff and in and out of the water and all that, they'll last about 2 weeks before you have to fill them in and so forth. But sometimes I don't do a good enough job with the sealer with the primer and the bonder on my nails, so they'll tend to lift a little bit. When you're putting the gel on, you don't want to put it next to your skin. So sometimes, if you know how gel works, it reacts to heat and so it expands. So sometimes I'll put too much on and it'll expand and go into my skin, and then I'll have to nail file it off with my heavy duty little dude I got here, electronic thing. Sometimes I use this. So that's the stuff that I use, and I will do one nail process so you can see how one works. It takes me about, gluing them on takes about a half an hour or so, depending if I get interrupted. And then the gel itself, doing all the nails, it probably takes a good 2 hours, just like going to a salon, only you don't have anybody to talk to. So sometimes I'll glue the nails on the night before, so that way that part's done, and I'll trim them to the way I want and so forth, and then do the gel stuff. So it'll take a good 2 hours, 2.5 hours total probably. But I'll do one nail process in this video so you can see it as I go. And I'll check in with you when I get it glued on. What you're going to do is clean your nails. So mine are like this. You're going to clean them. If you have polish on, take the polish off, wash them, clean them, make sure they're all clean. Then you're going to push your cuticles back, and do this very gently because you don't want to hurt your cuticles. Let me see if I can find my little doodad to do that. Let me see. You can use an orange stick if you've got some. I don't use that. I have a special thing that I use. Let me find it for you. I got these tools, and they look like dentist tools, but they're not. I have a sharp end to kind of trim the skin off, and this is what I use to push it back, is this little scoopy thing, and I do it real gently. And then if there's something stuck, I got this little scoopy thing. I don't know if I can show it to you. It kind of looks like a little spoon, but it's sharp. And here's another flat pusher you can use. So you do that first, make sure it's all clean and your nails are clean and your cuticles push back before you start. And I will be back. So I've got these ones on. I left these fingers free, which is hard to do because they're way long and I haven't trimmed them yet. But what you're going to do is, after you clean and push all your cuticles back here, you're going to want to file your nail. I don't have a nail there, so what little one I have, you just file that so it's down, and then you take an alcohol swab and clean the nail beds off. And then on these nails, on the back side of them, there is, I don't know if you can see, yep, see the well? See, it's like a line. Well, from the line up here to down here, that's your well. That's your well. You want to fill that with glue and then put it on your nail. Make sure you have it on the nail itself. So I have really short real nails, so I put it a little bit down because as it grows out, it's going to grow out, but I don't want it to fall off, so I bring it down just a little bit. And I don't know if that's true to do or whatever, but that's what I do. So you're going to put your glue, try to do this. When you're not used to nails, it's going to be hard for you. And put your glue down, and then you're going to put it on, just like that. And it's going to be awkward to hold. And it should take a hold pretty quickly, so it won't be too bad. And then when you're done gluing them on, You cut them to the length that you want. Like, I really like them this long, but I can't do anything with them. I mean, I don't have an outside job, so it wouldn't be a big deal to keep them that long. But if I'm like doing laundry and dishes or doing my crafts downstairs and so forth, it really gets hard to do. And at any time, if you feel that it hurts or anything, you got to stop. Don't go on and do it. Don't do it, because you're gonna hurt yourself and your skin and whatnot. And always keep fingernail polish with you, so if you get this glue on you, you can get it off. And make sure you have a good light so you can see what you're doing. I'm gonna glue this one on now on this side, and then I'll show you what you do next. So this took me probably, to glue all these on, took about a half hour maybe, if that. And my nails are, I haven't had them on for a while, so my nail beds are pretty good, so the glue wants to adhere to it. This is my favorite nail. Every time I do nails, I love how it curves like that. I just love it. So when I buy nails, I tend to buy the curved ones, not the straight ones. I'll use the straight ones when I don't have any more curved ones. But I really like the curve. And it doesn't do it on all of them. I mean, these naturally have a little bit of curve to them. But this one, it's the way my nail bed is, I guess. But I've always loved this nail. So that's probably the one I'm going to show you the most on, because that's the one I like. Maybe it's because I'm getting older. You know how older people, I mean like older people, their nail bed, their fingers tend to start doing this. Well, I'm getting older. I'm in my 50s, so which I don't think of myself in the 50s still. I still think I'm 30-something years old, but I'm in my 50s anyway. I do my own. So the next step you're going to do is you're going to cut them to the length, and after you cut them to the length, you're going to take your buffer and you're going to buff these. You're going to file these, buff them. You want the shininess off everything. You want the shininess off. And then you're going to, after you cut them, you're going to buff them, and you're going to take your nail file and make sure they're all the way you want them, and do all that with your rough nailer. And then it's going to be time to put the primer on, and I'll be back then. So they're all filed. You see that they're way shorter than what they were, because they were like let's see, they were like this long. They were long. I took off maybe a 1/4 inch or so. They're probably maybe a 1/4 inch long from the inside the nail bed right here. See, they're not that long. I'll be able to do stuff. They're still long enough where they look pretty and everything. You know, I kept my thumbs a little bit shorter because I grab things. I'm left-handed, so this hand is way rough. So I'll tend to keep one side a little bit longer, and as you file, they go down anyway. Okay, so the next step is your primer, whatever you're using for a primer. And some of it stinks and some of it doesn't. This one doesn't smell too bad. I think it smells like rotten feet, but you put it on your natural nail bed right there, and you just do a swipe on your natural nail bed. And if you have cuts or anything, it will sting, but it's not too bad. If it stings real bad, then just wipe it off with your alcohol swab. So that's all you do, just one swab of that, and it dries pretty quickly, pretty much instantaneously. And then what you're going to do, if you're using this stuff, I don't know about other gels, but the IBD, it has a bonder, it has the hard strong builder gel, then it has I only use the builder gel in the clear, but you can get it in different colors and white tips. If you're going to use natural nail, you can do it any way you want, but this is the best way for me. Is I get the white tips and put the clear gel on. Simple, easy, doesn't take as long. But I use the strong builder gel clear, and this is the bonder, and this you have to put underneath the light for 1 minute. So I have my extra phone here that I use as a timer, and a listen to music, whatever. It's an old 4S phone and it's in good shape, so I'm not going to get rid of it. So I take it and put it on the timer, and I put it for, I don't know if you can see, I put it for 1 minute. And then when you put it on, mine's little, so I can do one hand at a time. What I do is these 4 fingers for 1 minute, these 4 fingers for 1 minute, and then my thumbs for 1 minute. So I'll be back after that. And once that is on and you're done, then you're going to take this, and this is what I'm saying, you just do this. And I do this with my rubber thing because I don't have the sponge-like pads. I can't find them, and I didn't want to order them online, so I just use my cotton rounds for the alcohol and cleaning. But this is I only have one of these left. My rubber, it's like rubber sponge. You could use a makeup sponge, would do it too. So you just dab that, and it's going to be really, really tacky. So after you do this, you want to be mindful of these and keep them away from your nails, because you will get fuzz on them. Happens to me a lot. So okay, I'm going to do this and do that, and then the next step is going to be the gel, and I'll show you one finger. Okay, I'll talk to you then soon. Only put on a very thin coat of this. This stuff will last you forever. But I don't know if you're supposed to do just your natural nail bed or the whole thing. I do my nail bed first, and then I just swoop up on the nail part. That's how I do it. I don't know if it matters or what, but I want them to bond. So that's what you do. There's my 4. Then I'm gonna, and be careful when you do this, because gel works, like I said, it heats and expands, and it will burn, and you'll find out real quick. And you just, when you feel it burn, you just got to take your hand and do this. So, but if it really starts to burn, take your hand out for a minute and let it cool, and then put it back under. This stuff doesn't usually do that. It's the gel that does that. So just be prepared when you've had this on for a while. This is hot, and when it hits the gel, it's going to it will hurt. So when I first put this gel on, you'll see me do this, because it's gonna burn my finger. Oh, it does it every single time. And even going to get them done, it does that. But the first time I did it and had gel done, the lady didn't tell me. I'm like, oh my gosh, my hands are burning. And she forgot to tell me to take my hand out and do this. So be mindful of that. Not so much when you're doing the bonder, but when you put the gel on. Because you're going to do, let's see how many coats. You are going to do 1, 2, maybe 3 coats of the gel. It depends on how I feel, how they need to be, because I like them, because these nails, see, it's kind of thin. I like them thick on the top. So if I don't do the first one's really thin, it'll look just like this. Okay, so that hand's done. So it'll look really thin like that. But the second coat I will do kind of thicker and really thicker on the ends of my nails, because I do not want them to bend. So that's how I do it. So anyway, so do the bonder, and then I will be back. They're all ready. And I wanted to tell you, if you use the clear, you can get, I've got this, I bought a whole kit, got the light, and it's a different light than this one. It's my backup one. But I got gel, different kinds of gel, and the glitter. I got different colors. I really like the pink. But you can use, let me get it out. You can use a tile, like you can get at a hardware, you know, an old tile. You can get a tile, clean it off with some alcohol, and get a little scooper. You can buy at Sally's and stuff, you can get a little scooper. I don't have one. I used to have one. Anyway, you can use an orange stick with it. Take some of the gel out, put it on here, take the color that you want, the glitter, and you can mix it in there and you can add it to your nail. So instead of doing just the clear, you can add color to your tip. And I would do that in your second one, not the first one. I would do it in the second one. But I'm not going to do that today, but I'm just saying that you could do it if you want to, and it'll be on as long as you do, you know, you have your nails on. And so pick a color that you want to be stuck with. So I only do this like at Christmas time and maybe Thanksgiving time, that way, because I won't change my nails that much. But until then, you know, I don't, if I want to have a color or whatever, I'll do the clear on the French tip. And then if I want to paint an accent nail with polish, and I'll show you my polish stuff real quick. I have a whole wall full of different colors. And if you want to color them, paint them, you can paint them, and then you can take the fingernail polish remover after you're done and take it off, and it won't do anything to your nails. It'll still be shiny. So just a side note on that one. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take a thin coat of the gel, and it's stringy. Some worse than others, but this one is kind of stringy. I don't have that much on there. So you're going to, it's similar to acrylic. You're going to put it, I put it on the line like that, and then kind of brush up. But this is the thin coat, so you want to get it coated around. Don't get it on your skin, but get it on there. But I start out in the middle because there's going to be like a little ridge right there. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe if you zoom in, you'll be able to see it. And you want to fill that in. You want, I can't remember what they call that section right there, but you want that have the most gel on it. And then, so there's your first thin coat, and you're going to put it under the light for all of these are 2 minutes until the very end, and then you're going to put them under for 3 minutes. So you're going to put this in for 2 minutes, and then we're going to do the second coat, which is thicker. And so see that thin coat, it doesn't even look like I have anything on there. And if I left it like that, that nail would break quick. It would be strong, but it would break quick. Like right now, if I tried to touch this, that nail would be bendable. You could bend it, and I don't want that. So on the second round, I will make it thicker. So do that part, and then we'll be back. Okay, so the first batch is on, so now we're gonna make a second one. See, I've got more gel on this, and I'll show you the first finger. So you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna put it on, and this is where I usually get in trouble, because as it sits, it expands and moves. So I don't have it on my cuticle, I mean near my fingertip, the skin. I don't have it near there, but as it sits here, it's gonna move. And I'm trying to put more on the top here because I want more on the top. And see, now that's thicker. See this one? Way better. That's what I like. So that's the second coat. And this is all, and if you don't like how it looks after you put it in, I mean, if you think that you start right in the middle and you've got too much there, if you turn your finger upside down, it moves. It'll move to where it needs to go. And right now I've done pretty good. It's a little bit over on the skin, but I can file that off. So you're going to do that, and then you're going to put it in the light for 2 minutes. And after I do the rest of these, I will be back. Okay, so there's the second coat. I know the lighting's not that great, but let's see if I can do it this way. Let's see. Where's my hand? Right there. And I did a little touch up on this one because I missed a corner over here. I don't know, sometimes that happens if you don't look at it right. But there, let me move this cord. Put you back over here. Hold on. So they're thicker than these ones. I haven't done this side, I'm just doing this side so I can show you. And how shiny they are. My hands need a intensive soaking. I haven't done my thumb yet. And I'll do that after. So now is the last part that you would do after you've done them all. And I'm only showing you quickly for time's sake this spot. And you'd put them back in the timer to cure for 3 minutes, and you put it back in. And these are probably going to burn again. They burnt me a minute ago. And you put them back in for 3 minutes, and if, like I said, if it burns, you take it out and wave around or whatnot. And then you're going to take the cotton swab, a wet cotton swab with alcohol on it, and you are going to clean them off. And then you can continue with your next hand or your thumbs, whichever you're going to do. But typically I'll do the same thing. I'll do the first coat, thumbs. Then I'll do the second coat, thumbs. But today I'm doing it all at once on the 4 so you can see them. That way I don't forget where I am. But this way is fine too. If I go through and do this whole hand, these 4 fingers, then I know I just got these 5 to do, these 4 to do in my thumbs. I'll go back and do the same thing to these ones, and then my thumbs. So I probably got another hour to finish these. And then if I want to paint them, I'll paint them. If not, then I won't. But I'll put this stuff on after. And this is the seal. And then sometimes I'll stop at that, but sometimes I've got the clear gel. If I don't feel like putting this on, I will just use this at the very end. I'll put this on, which makes it just as shiny as this stuff does. But this just has special stuff in it because you have to put it under the light. So, and that's about it. And then I'll come back when I'm all finished with all of them, so you get the final look. That's all done. I had a owie on my thumb, so I didn't see it there when I started doing this, so it tends to smart a little bit. So just so you know, if you do have cuts and stuff, it's going to sting, it's going to hurt, so you might want to wait until it heals or whatnot. But after you're done, you got to clean your brush. I just clean it with the alcohol, with the swab thing, and just wipe it off. I clean it off, and then I'm done with that. So the next step is, after you take them out, you gotta take your alcohol swab and wipe your fingers, wipe your tips here, wipe them off. And now you are going to, you can throw those away because you're going to need another one or a couple. Get some alcohol on it. If you're not going to use the intense seal, which I'm not going to do this time because I got an owie on my thumb and I don't want to do that, I'm just going to use the gel on it. But if you do use this, then you got to put it under the light for 2 to 3 minutes. And then you're done with the gel, so you can put that away, put that out of the way. And you're going to get these little things. So what you're going to do now is take your, well, I'll take the hard one and file down where I think it needs it on here, because sometimes I'll get like it'll stick up more on one end than the other end sometimes if I haven't done this right. Like on this side there's one a little bit, so I may end up filing that down a little bit before I go with the other stuff. Okay, you can wear a mask if you want, if you don't want to breathe the dust. I don't have one of those salon desks. I just have my little vanity, and I just try not to sniff the dust. Don't want to put it in your system. Anyway, you'll go through and file those a little bit where the little high on spots, and I think I only did it on a couple. And like I said, if you have it near your cuticle, whatever, you can try to get it with the sandboard, but if you can't, then you'll have to go in with the Dremel with this. And I don't think I did too bad this time. Sometimes I get it really bad, but it's not. There's a couple spots where I'll have to file it, but when you've got an owie on the side here, right there, you want to be careful filing because it's gonna hurt. So that's gonna be sensitive for me for a day. It'll probably be better tomorrow, but I tried not to get near it with the gel, but like I said, it expands and it gets in there, so I just tried to wipe it off as it got in there and get it out of there and clean it with some alcohol, which does sting, but clean it up. So once you've filed with this one, take your semi one. I don't know what this is called. This is a fine buffer, and this one side is a little rougher, and then the other side is like this. But you take the rougher side and you're gonna go around your nail and buff this. You're gonna take out as much imperfections as you can. If some of the gel comes off, then you didn't cure it long enough or didn't bond very well. So you want to make sure that you put it under that light, like what you're supposed to do. And then you're going to file it like this buffer. So I did this buffer, and then I'll go through with this one and get it how I want it. And it's nice. See, it doesn't look like the other ones. It's going to be kind of dull. And then when you're all done with all of those, you're going to take your alcohol thing and you're going to clean it to get all the dust off. And it's going to look really dull. Not too dull, but it's not going to be shiny. It's not going to be shiny. So then you're going to want to put a clear coat, or if you're going to paint them, or whatever you're going to do to them. But either if you use the heat one, or if you use a regular one. If you're going to paint them, I recommend putting a clear coat on them first, so you kind of seal the nail. So I always, if I don't use the heat seal, this one, I will use this and put this on first. And then if you want to paint or whatever, you can paint. But if you take the paint off, if you don't heat seal it, this gel is going to come off with it. So you want to make sure after you're done with your paint, you redo it with your clear. And as soon as I'm done buffering and put some clear on there, I will show you. I'm back, ready to do the final thing. I've got them filed and clean. And I clean them with the alcohol, but you can go wash your hands if you want. And you can see on my thumbs, I have a couple of issues. There's hangnail there. This one don't hurt. This is the one that hurts. So that's going to bother me for a little bit. So when I put this clear on, it's probably going to sting. So now your next step is to get all the hairs off and whatnot, clean them, all done. You put your clear on. I usually use 1 or 2 coats of this, and I have to do it when my husband's not here because he thinks it stinks. It's fingernail polish, so yeah, it has a smell. The gel doesn't smell. My gel doesn't. Well, it has a little odor, but not unbelievably powerful. So you just put your clear on, and this stuff dries pretty clear. And this is by Sally Hansen. Actually, next time I go shopping, I'm gonna have to get some more because I think I'm about out. But you can go to nail salons, will sell you their top coat stuff that they use, you know, to put on. So you can usually buy it there. I don't know if I have it out. I have one that's big. Out the door. It's called Out the Door. This one. And this one dries pretty quick. So sometimes I'll do that one too, but you want to get a non-yellowing one because all of a sudden I don't know which one I used before the last time I had nails on, but all of a sudden I'm looking, I'm like, why is my nails yellow? And it's because it wasn't yellow tint proof or whatever, so it yellowed them a little bit. I filed them to get the color off and just recoated them, and they looked good as new. And you want to kind of do the tip here, you know, you want to seal the edge, and you can either do 1 coat or 2 coats. It is up to you. Yep, that stings. So you want to do that, and then after you're done with that, I'll probably only use 1 coat because I think once that heals, I'll go back in with the heat one and do the heat. So the coat lasts longer because I'm going to paint. I like to paint one nail, either just the tip of it or the whole thing. I'm going to do for 4th of July, and I've got some stickers, nail stickers that I can use. But after you're all done with this and it's all dry, you want to put moisture back in your hands and stuff. So once this dries, it's almost dry. I've got Sally Hansen vitamin E oil, and I put that around. And when people do their nails, you see them on YouTube or pictures on Pinterest, whatever, it looks like it's wet around their nail. It looks like they haven't cleaned it all the way. What they did is they put some oil around their cuticles so it heals them. So these are dry. That's how quick that stuff is. So you want to take this and just put some in I've got nasty cuticle beds here because when I don't have nails on, I bite my nails bad and I get hangnails. And when I have nails on, I don't touch them, and they don't do that, and they heal and they looked good. And because I'm an older gal, I don't think it matters what you do to your skin. My hands have always looked old. See how wrinkly they are? They've always have looked like that. And my friends used to tease me, you got old lady hands. Yes, I do. Now I'm an old lady, and they match. I guess I had to grow into it. But you just do that real good. Just wrap it around there and see how it looks. You can see the shiny. And they're all nice and good, and they're kind of thicker. Not as thick as I like them to be, but when these will stay on if I'm good, like I said before. If you're not in and out of water a lot or anything, they'll last quite a while, but you'll start seeing it come out of here when you get your growth. And you can file them, and you can do a fill, your own little fill. Just take some gel and put it in there and just do what we just did. You don't have to do it so much though, because your nails are already good. But before you do it, you want to make sure that you buffer them, clean them, and file them, and then clean them with the alcohol and whatnot. Same kind of process, just doesn't take as long. So this whole thing took me, the video is only going to be, I don't know, half hour if that. But it actually, I started these at 1:30 and it's 3:30, so it takes about 2 hours. So they're all nice and clean, and I really don't like the way the vitamin E feels on my hands, because my hands are so dry and stuff. It makes them oily, and I don't like that feel of that. So I'll wait a little while and then I'll go wash them. But like I said, this nail's going to be my favorite, and it is. It came out so good. I have one that always looks really good. One or two. I'm pretty happy with the middle fingers this time. In the pinky. Pretty much all of them except for my thumbs. My thumbs hurt because I had owies on them. But I didn't want to wait anymore. I was killing my fingers by chewing them. So they're not that long. Long enough. I'll be able to do stuff. My thumbs are shorter. A little shorter. I might end up having to trim my middles down a little bit, but as the days go by, they'll start to round. I like flat across nails. I don't like rounded ones, or those spike ones. I don't know what they're called, the ballerina ones or whatever. Drives me nuts. I'm forever doing this, and I can't do them. I've tried. They're beautiful, but I can't do them. I have to have straight across nails. But there's the end, and I'll probably paint these ones for the 4th of July. And I gotta do my feet. I don't usually put gel on my toenails. You can, but then you have to move your light down on the floor to do that. And I just, because my nails are rough, my toenails are kind of rough, I will file them and everything, make them all smooth. I'll do a pedicure first and get them all nice and clean and all that stuff. But I will go through first and put like 2 coats, 3 coats of this stuff on. And it keeps nice and smooth. So when I paint them, I don't get lines. Sometimes you can get lines on your toenails when you paint them. I want them smooth like my fingernails after doing them. See, they're nice and smooth. And I want my toes like that. But I don't want to put the gel on them. So I'll do this on my toenails. And after I clean them real good and get them all nice and clean and stuff, give myself my own little pedicure. And I can do a video on that, because I got to do them soon here before the 4th, because I need to paint them. They're awful. But I'll put 2 coats of this on, 3 coats of this on, and then I'll pick a color for the toes, depending on what you want to do. I got some really pretty fluorescent colors. I got yellow. I probably won't do yellow, but I've got pink and purple and that orangey color. And because it's 4th of July, I was thinking about just painting them red, maybe. I'd had them a hot pink with sparkles, but I might do a red. But that's it for now. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to help, or you can ask your nail professional. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I've just been doing my own nails for quite a while. And even if I get questions, I'll go ask a professional first. But like I said, if you have any kind of owies on your fingers, like I've got a couple little hangnails, like this one didn't hurt, but my thumbs did. So you want to kind of do it when you don't have owies. If you do, just be prepared. It's probably going to hurt. And, but it saves me time and money. get my own stuff and do it myself. So that's about it. Have any questions, let me know, and I'll do a pedicure one, show you what I have for all of that, because it's different from the nail stuff here. And I will see you again soon, and enjoy your nails. So there you go.